A very good morning to all of you. I am Manish Anand. I work with TERI on issues of science, technology, and innovation and how it contribute to sustainable development and facilitate transition to a green economy. First of all, I, on behalf of TERI and UNDP China, would like to welcome you all for this webinar, Science, Technology, and Innovation Policy for Low Carbon Development in China. This webinar series is a part of a project which is a collaborative project on low carbon development for China and India, which seeks to support policy development by facilitating South-South cooperation and by sharing relevant knowledge and building capacities. This is third in the series of webinars. The first webinar was organized on 12th March on low carbon pilots experiences from China. The second on 26th March, finance for low carbon development. And today is the third on science, technology and innovation policy for low carbon development in China. We have a very distinguished speaker, Dr. Zhutian Zhang. I'd like to give a brief introduction of Dr. Zhutian Zhang. Dr. Zhang is Professor and Director at the Division of Global Environmental Affairs, Ministry of Science and Technology. He was involved in drafting several policy documents, including China's S&T actions to address climate change, and then in 2007, a national S&T plan for climate change of the 12th plan in 2011. He is also involved in China's third national assessment report on climate change. He serves as the project leader of several research projects of the National Key Technology Program and National Basic Research Program. He holds a PhD in Management Science from the University of Science and Technology of China and Chinese Academy of Sciences. Just to set the stage for his presentation, we all know that science, technology and innovation has become the key driver of economic change, and also nowadays it has also in the parlance of sustainable development, it has the potential to confer developments not only on the economic front but also on the ecological front and social front. But we know that innovation does not occur in a vacuum. It requires a culture of innovation which is encouraged by an innovation ecosystem which comprises of human resources, legal systems, regulatory frameworks, institutional capacity, then research and development capacities and all. And to reap the benefits of innovation, we need to have this ecosystem in place where actors interact and come out with successful innovative products and processes. We all know that China is going very fast in terms of spending in R&D capacity. Just to give you a figure, when in 1980s, China had only 0.1% percentage of GDP expenditure on R&D. Talking about now, it is close to around 1.5 to 1.7 as percentage of GDP. Just to give you a corresponding figure of India, India was in the 1980s 0.3%, and the figure now stands close to 0.8 to 0.9%. So R&D capacity is a very important component of science, technology and innovation policy, because from the research only the innovative products and translating into innovative products and going to the market is possible. And a nation's capacity to do so is also influenced by the ecosystem, the policy framework and all. So it will be interesting to learn from Chinese experiences and how they are going forward in the area of low carbon development and what role science and technology and innovation policy framework is playing in this regard. So with this brief introduction, I would like to hand over to Dr. Zhutian Zhang for his deliberation. And I would like to request the participants who have any queries, they can just through chat during the course of the presentation, they can send their queries through the chat in the web. So over to you, Dr. Zhang.
Thank you, Mr. All right. It's my pleasure to be here to give a presentation regarding the low carbon development in China, especially from the science and technology and the innovation side. As you may know, in China, the low carbon development issue is led by NDRC at the top level. The other ministries will do their own work for their responsibilities in different areas. And the Ministry of Science and Technology is mainly focused on the science and technology issue to distribute the public funding for the low carbon technologies. So today I will briefly introduce you regarding what the Ministry of Science and Technology do. Okay, it's mainly about 4 parts. First, I'd like to brief you generally about the effects of climate change in China, and then I'll go to the policies and actions carried out by the most climate change issue. Then I'd like to present 2 pieces. One is about electric vehicle, and the other is carbon capture, utilization, and storage. And finally, I guess you might be interested in the current part. I will give you a brief introduction on this issue. So let's move to the first part, the effects of climate change in China. This is the latest findings that carried out in the 3rd National Assessment Report on climate change in China. The full version of the report is not released, but the major outcomes, findings are released during the Lima talk last December. For the temperature, for the warming, you could find, according to the latest records on the temperature time series in China, in the past century, the average land warming is about 0.9 to 1.5 degree. This is higher than the level that indicated, the global level indicated in the IPCC ER5. And the rate of warming in China in the recent 15 years has slowed down, but the temperature still remains at the highest level in the last century. The reason this temperature is higher than the IPCC ER5, the global level is about 0.85, I guess. It's because this figure just include the land temperature, and the ocean is not included. That's one of the reasons. And in the past, China's coastal sea level also rose at a higher rate than the global average. Between 1980 and 2012, the rate is about nearly 3 millimeters per year. And in the future, the temperature in China will continue to rise, and projection shows that the temperature will rise by 1.3 to 5 degrees, and the national precipitation will grow by 0%, 2 to 5%. But the distribution of the precipitation will vary in different regions in China. In the north, it will likely increase 5 to 15%, but in south part, the change will not be significant. And more extreme events will happen in the future. Rainstorms, storm surge, and large-scale droughts will increase in terms of frequency and intensity. Also, the sea level in China will continue to rise. You could see the two charts, two figures. On the left is China, on the right is globe average. You could see the future temperature rise will be higher in China than the global level. And climate change now has caused both positive and negative impacts, but the overall impact is not good. The current observed positive impact includes the increased solar and thermal resources caused by the temperature rising, especially in the area of agriculture, and additional benefits to forests and other ecosystems. But more negative impacts are felt on the various areas. For example, the use and quality of grain, water resources, the marine environment, and the ecosystem. Due to the climate change, the unit yield of meat and maize in China dropped nearly 2%, respectively, 1980 to 2008. And regarding the future impacts, projections shows the further warming will largely bring about negative impacts. No matter in the area that benefits benefit from the warming, such as ecosystems. And China, like many other countries, are very vulnerable to climate change. The natural disaster risk level in China is higher than other parts of the globe, and China is very sensitive to climate change. And more than 70% of various natural disasters is associated with the climate events and extreme weather. The loss caused by natural disasters are on the rise. You could see the rising trend in the left figure. The blue bar shows the losses caused by natural disasters, and the red line is the GDP loss rate. The GDP loss rate is declining mainly because of the GDP increase. And under the future impacts of climate change, total water resources will likely reduce by 5%, and this could affect China's food security, and as well as the security issue for water and ecosystems. And another trend is in the background of climate change, the water, ecosystem, food, and energy. These issues are going to be intertwined and be more complicated. This is a very general background regarding the climate change effects in China. That is why the Chinese government is attach great importance to climate change. From the science and technology aspect, we think science and technology is the key to solve climate change issues. Now I'd like to introduce the policies and actions that carried out by the Ministry of Science and Technology. As you may know, in China, the activities really being carried out on the various plans. We have various level plans at national level, local level, and as well as in different fields. Before the plans could be issued, some basic strategy study will be carried out that forms the basis for the plan and the other activities. I will brief you separately. In the area of low carbon development and the climate change issue, we have two strategic researches as our basis to issue the policies or plans. One is about the National Assessment Report on Climate Change. That is a very comprehensive report, just like an IPCC report in China. We started this work from 2007. The first assessment report was released, and the second one in 2012. Now we are working on the sub-report, and the report will be released this year. This comprehensive report includes the facts, observation of climate change, the strategy basis that support the policy design. Besides the National Assessment Report on Climate Change, we really carry out technology forecasting and roadmap. For example, in the area of carbon capture, utilization and storage, we have a technology forecasting work and the issued roadmap that forms a very good base technology outline. The time period is 15 years. That's an overall plan regarding the science and technology development that covers all the areas. In the outline, clean energy and renewable energy, as well as global environment issues, are clearly listed as the major task. At a lower level, in 2007, the Ministry issued China's Scientific and Technological Actions on Climate Change. That is to fulfill the China National Action on Climate Change that issued by NDRC. In 12th five-year plan, we have a very good plan as a comprehensive work that covers all the areas of science and technology in climate change. That is issued in 2012. And these three are overall plans. You cannot involve very details. We really have many specific plans in various fields. For example, in the last 5-year plan, we have the specific one on CCUS, on electric vehicles, on clean coal technologies. These are related to the low carbon development issue. And based on the specific plan, the ministry will release the call for proposals and receive application in different area and distributed the central government funding to the winners. Besides the research activities, the technology deployment is also very important area. To enhance the low carbon technology development, we mainly have three tasks. One is we have a list of the energy saving and low carbon technologies. This technology list is mainly based on the outcome of the most supported projects. The aim to release this list is to inform the public the major outcome in the low carbon technology and help let the public and especially the enterprises to know the latest progress in the science and technology development, especially that technologies have the great potential to reduce carbon emission. And another challenge is how to combine the different stakeholders in the innovation system. The most supported the establishment of various allies. We call the Industry Technology Innovation Strategic Alliance. These allies are led by the enterprises and will include universities, research institutes, the same area. For example, in low carbon area, we have new generation coal chemical alliance, solar alliance, coal-backed methane, biomass, and electric vehicle, and as well as CCUS alliance. These alliance aims to closely combine the different stakeholders together to form a full chain organization that will boost the basic research, technology development, and demonstration. And they will discuss the urgent needs and the latest news on within them. And also, the ministry supported the local demonstration. We have national sustainable development pilot districtions. Now we have more than 100. This is a very good places that could have the latest technology to be demonstrated. This is the general structure that's how we carry out the work in the low carbon technologies. We have strategic research, and we have policy design, and establish several organizations and issue policies to support organizations that could boost the deployment of technology. Another aspect we mainly do is distribute the public funding. When in past years we have a system that basic researches, technology, R&D, and demonstration are the three categories of the funding scheme. In basic research, beside most, the National Nature Science and Foundation of China also supported these basic researches. In basic research, thought mainly goes to the scientific issue researches and impacts of climate change and adaptation of climate change. This is basic risk. In the category of technology R&D, we have National High-Tech R&D program that mainly focuses on the technology development, and the National Key Technology R&D program. This program mainly focuses on the demonstration. Within these two programs, we have promote energy technology researches and development. For example, clean energy efficiency use, and energy saving technologies and equipment, and other clean production key technologies. These are the emphasis within these programs. The second emphasis is new energy technologies and the other mitigation technology. China most supports nearly every renewable energy technology development in China, and some key technologies in terms of infrastructure, for example, the smart grid and others. The third is regarding climate change adaptation and monitoring. Many carried out in the basic research area, while the high-tech program and the key technology program will support some demonstration. For example, adaptation technologies in agriculture and water resources. And technology demonstration and the industrialization is lower part of the innovation chain. This is also very crucial now. The ministry is supported several campaigns. For example, we call 10 cities, 1,000 vehicles. That is a campaign on energy saving and new energy vehicles demonstration. So I will present it in detail in the coming slides. In the area of LED, we also have demonstration 10 cities, 10,000 lamps. There is also a pilot program aimed to demonstrate LED lamps in more than 20 cities. And for the PV industry, we have Golden Song. There is many financial assistance projects, but now it's stopped. During the big events, for example, the Beijing Olympic Game and World Expo in Shanghai, the ministry also together with the local organizer to demonstrate the latest technology and let the public know the progress on this. That's a very good show in the big events. And international cooperation is also very important. Three categories in the multilateral cooperation. China joined various organizations and programs. We have cooperation with developed countries in various sections, and as well as with developing countries. And now, under the help of the UNDP, we are cooperating on the renewable energy technology transfer between China and Africa. And this is a very good and new model in South-South such technology cooperation. Let's see some pictures of the international cooperation. And now I'd like to introduce you two cases. One is about electric vehicles. China started to support the electric vehicle 20 years ago, and now you could say we have a three phases strategy. And phase one is to demonstrate in the public transportation in big cities. We have 8,000 vehicles in 2012 cities demonstrated. In phase two, the main target is to improve the battery and the infrastructure and to manage electricity charger in 20 cities are established. And now we are in the phase three, that is the industrialization of EV. The target of 2020 is we'll have a well-established production chain of the EV and realize the industrial level of the vehicles and lead this industry to a rapid growth period. And now the R&D folks mainly on the battery and its management system and the smart control and some basic research, integrated technology and demonstration are also being listed on the emphasizes. To do this, the technology is okay, but the financial support is also very important. The Ministry of Science and Technology, together with the Ministry of Finance, issued a campaign to subsidize the electricity vehicles. During the past 3 years, we have 15,000 vehicles subsidized, and another policy support is the government purchase. Consumers will got the subsidy when they buy a car, and every car will cost 60,000 RMB at the highest. And this money comes from central government and provincial government. In some big cities, the municipal administration will also give financial support to the consumers. So now you may know some Chinese company, for example, BYD, the BAIC Motor Corporation, and TERI, and amongst some others. In China, some cities, big cities like Beijing, Hangzhou, and others, they have the taxi, that is the electric vehicle. The Chinese auto company are very active in the EV research and production. The second case I'd like to introduce to you is about CCUS. As you may know, the EV is low carbon technology, but somebody always criticized that the electricity the car used cost from the power plant. If the power plant is not low carbon, then the emission is there. So from this chain, we have folks emphasize on the carbon capture and storage in power plants and other plants, for example, the chemical industry, to capture CO2. That means the electricity generated with carbon capture, that will be zero emission if we combine the electric devices, for example, the EV. We have issued the technology roadmap in 2011. The vision of the roadmap is to make CCUS technology ready with economic feasibility in 2030. We have targets in different years, and the roadmap provided some options for the full chain demonstration in China. It's a long way that the CCUS technology development in China. If we look back nearly 10 years before, in the National Medium Long-Term Program for the Science and Technology Development that issued by State Council, there is just one sentence in terms of CO2 capture. That is to develop CO2 near zero emission technology. From there on, now we have many policies. Once we have clear knowledge on this technology. Now, as I mentioned, we have the roadmap. We have a specific plan for this technology development, and we establish targets, actions in capture, storage, the full chain technology demonstration, etc. And you could see some outcome of the CCUS technology. On the left is the scientific outcome indicated by papers, and on the right side is patents. You could see the rise of this outcome. Very good. China supported the CCUS activities through R&D from 11th five-year plan in various stages: the basic research, the technology development and demonstration. And in 12th five-year plan, the focus, the emphasis of supporting this technology shifted to utilization technology. As you know, CCUS is the cost is very high. So if we could got options to use CO2, that would be a good way out. And supported the enterprises. In China now, the major energy enterprises have their own pilot or demonstration projects. For example, the China Power Investment built the pilot 8 years before. And the university has the pilot equipment. The Huanan Group established 3 demo One is in Beijing, one in Shanghai, and one IGCC in Tianjin. These facilities has different technology focus. Also, PetroChina, the energy company, the China United Co-Badminton, the EN Group, they working on the area of storage, especially the use of CO2, ECBM, and the biofuel pilot demonstration. And others, big company, Sinopec, Sinhua Group, also have demonstration. And in this area, we also have very good international collaboration with Australia, UK, EU, IEA, US, and Italy, and etc. It's very helpful for the Chinese society, especially the experts, to understand this technology and join in this area. I'd like to express why a focus shift on CO2 utilization technologies, not just storage technology. We have an assessment report on CO2 utilization technologies in China. Totally 25 technologies are being evaluated, and these technologies fall into three categories. One is geological utilization, second, chemical production and utilization, second, bio and agriculture production. Based on the evaluation, China will have great potential to use CO2 rather than just store CO2 on the ground. These are the two cases I'd like to share with you. As you may know now, the central government is reforming the public funding scheme. Here, I think, Chinese government spent many money on R&D. In 2012, nearly 2% of GDP was spent on this. But now there are more than 40 government agencies that manage 90 programs. This easily results in overlap and also made the research funding application process fragmented and insufficient. That is the big changes for the funding system. The reform aims to increase the efficiency of input, the money input, and maximize the use of the money. To do this, an integrated platform will be established to unify all application channels. There will be 5 major programs in China when the reform is done. One is natural sciences that focus on basic research. Second, the National Major Science and Technology Program, focusing on the national strategic issues and products. Third is national key research programs. This program will include the former to oversee the fund to increase among government. The member of the council will include representatives from the Ministry of Sciences, Ministry of Finance, and others. The responsibility of this council is to make decisions, including proposing research projects, selecting appropriate professional institutes to manage the projects, listing evaluation scholars, and terminating the stalled projects. With this arrangement, the government agency will hand over the evaluation, approval, fund allocation, and project management to the third-party professional institutes. And the reform is ongoing, and we will have a 3-year transition period. It is determined to realize this reform in 2017. So these are the 3 last slides that briefly introduce you the current public forum. So that's all. Thank you.